another day, another Phantom Rage opening. I feel like I'm gonna be stuck on this set almost as long as I was stuck
but I think this guy's a lost cause.
Ignition Assault.
He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
Though, you're probably looking at this awesome playmat that we have. This playmat was done by Amanda LaPalme, who runs her own organization called Amanda LaPalme Art, where she makes playmats. We also have some field centers as well that you guys can get in on. These, of course, are double-sided, so they have two different designs on them. And stickers. Amanda also makes other different types of things, including dice. Again, I think I mentioned playmats already, but there's a whole lot of other stuff on there, binders, etc. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, I'll have a link in the description below, and it goes really fast. As you guys can tell, this is some real high quality artwork. So like most things, and like most of the stuff that people have been making in the Yu-Gi-Oh field, these things go by real quick. So make sure you guys are constantly checking those stuff out. Definitely check out Amanda LaPalme's art. And again, link to that will be in the description below. The reason why I guess we're hopefully showing what we have here is because we're potentially trying to open up one of the cards that we still need for the deck, which of course is Field Jet or Ferrijit, or however the heck you want to pronounce this card's name. We're hoping that we're going to be able to get one. If not, then we're just going to have to get another box of this, and I kind of don't want to open up another one. So let's hope if this alliance between the Ancient Warriors and the Tri-Brigades works out, if we're able to pull off what we need, then we'll be able to then move on to another set, which will be Blazing Vortex. And I think Blazing Vortex and Lightning Overdrive are the last two sets that we need for the deck, unless we get reprints in the Gold Sark tin case. So if we do get reprints coming up, then we'll be opening up more sets. If not, we're pretty much going to have to run through this set, Blazing Vortex, and Lightning Overdrive over and over again, depending on what we get. So we're still looking for Fractals. That's an ultra rare. That's going to be probably maybe 1 to 2 per box. So if I do get one in here, then I'll still need to get another one. So I'll probably have to buy another box anyway. So that'll be 3 boxes of Phantom Rage, I think, that we're going to be opening up in total. If you've been keeping count, you let me know. This is either the second or the third box. I believe this is the second box that we've opened up for this. So let's just get into it. I'm actually not going to open up the entire box. I want to kind of like spread out content. So we'll be doing half of the box for today for this video, and then the other half will open up in another set. So honestly, the only thing that I hope I get is Field Jet. Like, if I get her and if I get a Fractal, that'll be really good. I'm just shuffling them up because sometimes the cards are mapped and I don't want to know the order. So that way when we get the other set, we can kind of just open them up randomly. But 12 packs to open. Let's see if we can get what we need. If we don't, then that's just a whole nother set that we're going to have to open up. Raid Raptor Heel Eagle, Virtual World, we got a Tactical Trapper, Dogmaticism, and another Virtual World Super. I am still kind of, if I'm being very honest, I'm still kind of annoyed that rares are no longer in here. Especially because for this set specifically, there's a Tri-Brigade called the Silver Sheller that they could have just made a Tri-Brigade, honestly. I'm going to have to pause here just because my camera is running low on battery. Alright, sorry for the pause there. My camera was running out of battery, so I had to kind of like re-record, or not really re-record, but just stop the recording before I opened up this pack and then kind of like make sure it was charging. So we're jumping back into it. Nothing except for the Virtual World Juju. Then we got a Rookie, Jack in the Hand, Play Manager, and a Rugal, or Silver Sheller again. Man, I really hope he gets reprinted. Like, I cannot say this enough. This card really should have been a rare, just based off of the name alone. So far, I guess we've only gotten one Tri-Brigade, but it's not the one that we're looking for. And again, we're only opening up half of this box. So with any luck, we'll be able to get the card that we need, but we'll have to see. Raid Raptor, Tri-Brigade Oath. This actually is a fairly good card, but I think just for the way that we're running it, we might not need it. We have an Infernity Doom Archfiend. We'll put that over there. Charge into the Dark World. I'm actually going to hold on to this just because this might actually have some play with another deck that I'm thinking about making, which is something to do with Plunder Patrol. So I'm kind of going to hold on to this. We got our, I don't even know what Nerval number this is. This is probably our like 10th, maybe 10th or 11th. I honestly have no idea. Also, I was checking. I think this might be the Phantom Rage box. This is either the third or you know what, whatever. I'm actually not even gonna try to keep count. Whatever, UA Locker Room, because then I feel like I'll just get a little bit more depressed if I really try to think about what box we're on. Virtual World Long, Jack in the Hand, Dual Avatar Return. Again, nothing that we're specifically looking for. Let me take this oath out and put it over there. Nothing that we're specifically looking for, although I think it's Juju. I think this card might actually be pretty good for Speedroid decks. So if you're holding on to any of those, Juju might be the card to use. Anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is the Virtual World Synchro that works best with like wind synchros. Mutant Expansion, Jaja, Dual Avatar. We got a Karis, nice. All right, this is actually going to be really, really helpful. We'll be able to run now 2 of our Karises, I believe. I think that makes our second one. So now all we really need is the Fractals and the Link monsters at this point. I think we also need the Airborne Assaults. So we're probably going to be opening up these boxes for a while. I can only hope that my secret in here is Airborne Assault. If it isn't, then that's going to be a problem, because I think we need a playset. So far, getting the Karis, I mean, Karis is a really good card. I think we're at the point where most of the monsters that we have in the deck already are probably going to be phased out for some of the actual Tri-Brigade cards. And I was kind of conscious about that because I didn't want to phase out all the Ancient Warrior cards if we don't have a substantial amount of Tri-Brigade monsters, just because it's really going to mess up with the consistency, and I'm probably just going to have a losing streak until we kind of like even out what we really need. We get another Nerval, we get a Standoff, a lot of other good cards, but again, nothing that we're specifically looking for. This is going to be one of those things too where when we get to Blazing Vortex, I'm going to be very... I hope I only have 1 box of that, because there's only 2 cards I think I need. I think I need Lu Feng and Tri-Brigade Kit, the card that is on the playmat here. Proofiness, Dogmaticism, ooh, there we go, there we go, there we go, nice. Okay, so we're actually, you know what, this is actually planning out pretty good. We got a Karis and a Fractal. So I think we only need 1 more Fractal. I believe we have 2 Karises. I gotta check the deck, but I believe we have 2 Karises. We still haven't pulled the secret, so if we can get Airborne Assault, that would be amazing. Gigabyte, GB88, Banquet of Millions, Nian Nian, and Nerval, Penguin Brave, and etc. etc. All right, 2 packs left. One of these I think has to be the secret rare, which at least I hope it is. Hope that one of these is the secret rare. But again, we're really hoping that we get that Airborne Assault. We could really use that. The only other card, maybe, if I do get another, Shureg, I guess, but we don't really need another one. Ugh. And it doesn't even matter because the secret that we got was Ultimus. Can't even use it, so it's not really going to be doing much. I don't know what this last card's going to be, so let's just see what it is. It might be the last Ultra, but I'm not sure. Maybe we already opened up the one with the Ultra. But so far, so good. This is turning out to be a pretty good episode. Ooh, there we go. There's our Ultra. It's Armatile, the Chaos Phantasm, Phantom of Fury. But unfortunately, we're not running a Sacred Beast deck, so it's a card that we can't use. But we did get one of the 2 cards that we needed. I think this is our first Fractal, so finally got a Fractal. We have our Karis here as well, so we're able to plus, and now all we have to do is just add these cards in and see how it changes some of the playstyle. This also means that we are going to be phasing out some of the Ancient Warrior cards, just again in favor of the new sort of engine that we're going to be running. So with the Karis and the Fractal, we'll have to see how this deck really performs, and in the next episode, we're going to be opening up another half of Phantom Rage. So let's get these guys in some sleeves, and then, yeah, let's get into some duels. Our first duel up is against Blade Runner 1024, and we recently just drew one of the new cards that we were able to add thanks to another box of Phantom Rage. Man, I am actually done with this set. Like, I feel like I'm at the point now where if I see Phantom Rage, like, I'm gonna just be afraid. But I really should be afraid because Blade Runner is not only starting out with Machina Fortress, but also a DPE. Now, the deck here is still running Super Poly, and that's going to come in handy a little bit later. But we're going to start off first by activating Fractal's effect, and then chaining that to Cosmic Cyclone. having the Fractal in the deck finally makes this so much easier. I cannot explain to you how much this deck has improved just based off of one card. Now all I have to do is actually pull more than one, and then we can actually get some stuff started. But in the meantime, we're going to get Almirage on top of our Raven, or rather, thanks to Raven, we're going to get Almirage, which will then allow me to then get my Ancient Warrior card, since sending the Raven to the grave will allow me to add the Tenki. DPE is going to go off, and that's going to allow me to, it's going to really destroy my Changban Bridge, but I'm going to then use Karis's effect, summoning him, sending off my Sunmo to the graveyard. Now in retrospect, I probably should have gathered a different Ancient Warrior instead, but I'm just going to allow it to happen because I believe that I can still kind of like pop off with the cards that I need in order to make sure that I have what I need to go, or rather attack, in this turn. I'm going to activate Karis's effect and get rid of 4 of my Beast Warrior monsters to summon out Shureg. Then I notice that he does have the DPE, so I'll set my Super Poly and end my turn. Blade Runner's turn, they're going to start off first by getting back the DPE. I'm going to chain my Super Poly to it, summoning out Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, taking both of the 2 dark monsters and using Shureg's effect to add another Sunmo to my hand. I know, Super Poly in the year 2022. Did you see it coming? I did not either. Anyway, they're going to end up getting the Machina Continuous spell card, I believe the one that adds a monster, and then they're going to summon out both a Fortress and the 4-star monster. And this is where the duel can kind of go either way, right? Because I was sending both of the monsters on the field with Super Poly, Starving Venom still has the 2800 attack points. He does have his effect that does prevent, or rather that will kind of ensure area destruction, but it's not like he's really going to be able to do anything. I end up drawing another Sunmo, but the 3 back rows kind of scare me at this point, so I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to go in for the battle phase and attack. Next, I'll go to main phase 2. That way, if anything does happen, I can actually kind of just pop off. I'll summon the Sunmo, there goes the Torrential Tribute, so my fears were confirmed, and I'll just end my turn after that. There's not really anything I can do. I can't summon more than once, and in retrospect, again, actually, there really wasn't any loss that could have been gained here. I'll activate the Changban Bridge in the graveyard, which will allow me to get another monster on the field, rather another Ancient Warrior monster straight from my deck. I'll summon out the Zhougong, and thanks to Tenki, Zhougong actually has an extra 100 attack points, which he really doesn't need at this point, but we'll keep it nonetheless. I'll get the Zhougong to summon out, or rather send the Tenki to the grave to get the 3 visits. That'll allow me to summon Zhuge Kong, which will then activate the effect of my card. Then all I have to do at this point is really just attack. I have a spell negation, so I'm just going to use that with Zhuge Kong, and then activate 3 visits, which will allow me to special summon another monster. So I can really just pop off here, like I don't really have to do much. I'll summon Sunmo in defense position, and then I'll activate the effect of Zhang Yuan to summon him in attack, and then I'll go with Zhang Yuan and Zhuge Kong to end the game. Now with one enemy defeated, we have to figure out who's going to be our next opponent. Alright, so we're here dueling against another Yugi tuber. We are facing off against none other than the Raving Raven. Be sure to follow and like and subscribe his channel. I'll be linking that in the description down below, and you'll also see a little graphic show up on the screen right about now. Now, with our Ancient Warrior deck the way it is, I'm still not so confident with the deck performing that well actually, but we'll see what we can do. The Raging Raven is running a invoked, I believe, Despia deck, and this is going to be interesting because it's pretty much like we're facing off against current meta, and we really need to see how our deck is actually going to run against this when we face off in some real actual duels. Now, at the time of recording, The Grand Creators has already come out, Battle of Chaos has already come out as well, so the decks right now might actually look a little bit different. Of course, the ban list is also out, so if you see me playing more than one 10 key, that's also something that we are going to be adjusting in episode 10 of the next duel. But with this current duel so far, the Raging Raven has started off with the Despia Theater and summoning out the fusion card Masquerade, which will actually take 600 of my life points every time I try to activate a card or effect. So very, very annoying, and I need to make sure that I'm able to get over it. So I'm going to start the field off with Reborn Tengu and my Alpha, the Master of Beast, that we got, I believe, in the last episode. So we're actually kind of like pulling off a few good combos here so far. Now, with Alpha's effect, I will most likely send the Reborn Tengu back alongside my Alpha, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I'll probably be able to get off the Reborn Tengu's effect. My biggest thing here is just to get rid of the fusion card, because every time I try to activate a monster or effect, that card is going to make me pay 600 life points. So I pretty much need to try to prevent it. Now, Raven actually prevents my Alpha from going off by chaining it with Imperm, thus leaving my monster on the field, but that doesn't prevent me from attacking. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, upon attacking and destroying, that'll activate the Despia Theater, allowing him to special summon a, I believe he gets a Despia monster, or he gets a non-fairy fusion monster from his graveyard, if I'm right. Someone will correct me in the comments down below. Raven, if you're watching the footage back, you can actually correct me as well. But here's what we're going to do instead. I'm actually going to link summon the two of them off into Darumadal, because I believe my next best bet is to get rid of the Despia Theater. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to activate Daruma's effect, popping my Burrowing of Arrows in order to get rid of the Despia Theater. Now, what you probably didn't see was there was a Called by the Grave that was chained to Reborn Tengu, so I wasn't able to get off its effect. Raven starts off his turn by summoning out Fallen of Albaz, and then fuses the two of them, summoning out Despia Quartitis, or Quaratus. I have no idea how to pronounce this card's name, and that's going to be a pretty interesting piece of content to be talked about in regards to card pronunciation. But anyway, Quaratus, whatever, we're just going to call it Despia Q, is on the field, and Masquerade also comes back. Unfortunately, which means that I'm going to be taking a lot more damage if I am going to try to get over it. Thankfully though, this deck does still run Super Poly, so my best bet right now is to try to get the Super Polymerization in order to get rid of both of these monsters. If I'm able to fuse them both together, I'll be able to kind of just summon out Starving Venom and then go for as much attack as I can. Plus, I won't have to worry about them being destroyed, because that'll basically save me the time from, or rather, that'll save me the effect from the Despia Theater instead of it popping off. So I'll shuffle off my deck, activate Dark Ruler no more so I don't take any 600. In retrospect, I probably should have did this first, but you know, live and learn. Dark Ruler will prevent any of my opponent's monster effects from activating, which means that my best bet right now is probably to go for Sure Egg, but I am kind of like just contemplating what I'm going to summon here. If you are just sort of like watching the screen on the side, you'll notice that this is actually a Twitch setup. So this is going to be another little plug that I'm going to do right here. We actually do stream on Twitch, and we will be streaming hopefully more often on the weekday evenings. But you can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Artistwithafro. I'm also on Twitter under the same name, and if you found this video on YouTube, then you're probably already subscribed. But if you aren't, subscribe. Anyway, we activate the Dark Ruler no more. We're going to then discard the Zhuge Kong to summon out the Karis, and I'm going to activate Karis's effect, getting rid of 4 of my monsters in order to summon out Sure Egg. Now, using Sure Egg's effect, I should be able to banish a monster, and I don't think I have to worry about anything else activating at this time, so I'll actually banish I'll be banishing the Masquerade. And this is kind of like my own misplay, I probably should have banished the Despia Q, but when the card was removed from the field, thanks to the Theater being on the field, he's able to still get the Aluber Jester back on the field. So now I'm kind of like stuck in this position where if I get rid of the Jester first, he'll be able to kind of like send it off and infuse again, but I don't have a monster that's able to kind of run over it. So I'll end up just destroying the other Despia fusion monster, and The best bet here would probably be to go for Farragut, but if I don't have Sunmo in my hand, there's really nothing really more I can do. The Farragut, though, would be able to get the Sunmo, and I don't think that I activate that effect, which kind of... I'm not even going to spoil it, but we'll see. There's a lot of misplays, or not even misplays, but missed opportunities. Anyway, I am going to link them both off into the... Ooh, no, I can't go for Rugal. I'm going to try to, I believe... Why am I not going for Farragut? Do I not have Farragut? Where is Farragut at this point? For some strange reason, I summon out Eagle instead, where I believe I was trying to go for Farragut, but... Oh, maybe that means I've never drawn it. Oh my gosh, am I speaking into the future? Regardless, we summon out another card, and I totally forget to use the effect, or maybe I don't. I use the effect of Shureg to then get the Raven back to my hand, and off of that I can then send them both to summon out the Rugal, which will then allow Raven to get another Fire Fist or Fire Formation card from my deck to my hand. So, we're going to search out for the Tensu. I'm then going to activate the Tensu to summon out the Shogang. I'll send the Tensu to the grave with the effect of Shogang in order to get, I believe, 3 visits. Oh no, instead I'm going to go for Changban, and that'll serve as some sort of like battle protection for the rest of the turn. Now, I already committed to my battle phase, so I can't really do much more this time, but we'll see. I end up linking them both off again to summon out Nightmare Cerberus, and then I'll use Cerberus's effect in order to get rid of the Despia. Unfortunately, though, that does chain off the field spell again, so the Despia Fusion monster is going to be returning. So, big misplay there. I really feel like I should have just banished the other Despia Fusion off of Shureg's effect, but you kind of live and learn during these times, and it's really just a good learning experience because playing in person, and if you've not done this before, or rather if you've been jumping back and forth between platforms, playing in person is a lot more rigorous instead of playing online on simulators. Oftentimes you get the commands to chain or activate certain cards, and in person you kind of have to remember where those activations lie. So Raven continues on with his effect. He summons out Despia Tragedy. Despia Q is going to then attack. I'll activate the Changban Bridge. That will allow me to get another Ancient Warrior card from my deck. I'll summon out Jiawei in defense position. However, with 1800 defense, he's not really going to be doing much, and there's not much that I can do at this time to draw in order to get over this. But again, this is still a really good learning experience. Raging Raven, another guest on the channel, is about to give me another loss. I feel like we're kind of getting into a trend here where guests on the channel seem to be doing a lot better than your actual host. But we actually come down to a triple tactics. I have Imperm in my hand, but I'm not really doing anything with it. And Raven ends up taking the game. So with that being said, there's still a lot more that we need to do for the deck. I still need to get Farragut apparently, because we don't have that card, wink wink nudge nudge, so I'll just leave that there. And again, all of the plugs are still there. Really big shout out and thank you to the Raging Raven. Please be sure to check out his channel. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and check out his content, as well as continue to like, follow, and subscribe all of the content on this channel, as well as my Twitch. With that being said, though, I've been the Artist with Afro, and that, my friends, is the show. Thank you all for watching.